she comes to Kamloops and then she leaves, and then whatever conversation I would have with her, my professors would repeat it in class. So one day I was telling her that I really like the pizza from Pizza Pizza in Ontario, and they don't have Pizza Pizza in British Columbia. They didn't have it at the time. So next day I go to class, and my ethics professor, the pedophile, Tony Wilson, he goes, "Oh, who's here from Ontario? You know there's a really good pizza shop there, Pizza Pizza, 967-1111, call Pizza Pizza. Hey, hey, hey." He does that in class. I'm like, what the fuck? I just had this conversation with that bitch yesterday. And then there was another professor, Bryant Mackey. This guy was in-house counsel for Vancouver Police Department. And Tony Wilson was on the board of Law Society of Ontario. And so was my lawyer, Richard Peck. They were both on the board of Law Society, or they were like, whatever, benchers. They were on the they were benchers in Law Society. Richard Peck and Tony Wilson, they're both benchers in Law Society of British Columbia. Not Law Society of Ontario, sorry. Law Society of British Columbia. And then after Richard Peck dropped me, his assistant billed me, like I paid him $5,000 and his assistant billed me another $5,000, which I never paid. And one day Tony Wilson comes to class and he's like, sometimes lawyers bill you and you don't pay. Like, I have a friend, he doesn't mind, and he's trying to kind of imply that, I don't know what the fuck he was trying to imply. But anyways, he's mentioned that in class. And the Brian Mackey guy, he's a Vancouver Police Department in-house counsel. So one day, me and Amanda had a conversation. She was talking about like tried to talk me into some illegal shit, right? Like one day she said like she wanted to take a sailboat and smuggle drugs into another country. And I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you're so educated and you have a good job and you have such good grades and you're trying to go to law school. Like, why would you want to fuck that up for you? And then I told her, I was like, well, if you ever want to run away, go to a country that doesn't have extradition treaty with the U.S. or your country, wherever you are. So next day I go to class and Bryant Mackey's there and he's like, oh, if you ever want to go to, if you ever want to run away, you gotta go to a country that doesn't have extradition. So they would literally repeat the shit that I would say to this girl in my classes, in my law school classes. So I got super suspicious. I was like, okay, there's something not right here. So I thought, I didn't even suspect anything from this girl because I thought she was like, there's no way this girl's from the U.S. Like, there's no way she's a spy. Even though one day she kind of jokingly said, oh, I'm a spy. I got hired by your professors. And I was like, fuck off. No, you're not. And then I didn't even suspect anything. I thought the Indian hotel owners that where I lived, I thought they were trying to like set me up, right? I thought they were like listening. They put something in my room and they were eavesdropping and they were telling my law students and like law professors. So I came up with the plan. So the plan was for me to talk shit about Indian people in my room and then go and check the reaction of those hotel owners, right? I'm good at reading people, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go read these guys. I'm gonna go talk shit about Indians in my room and then see how they react. And if they're acting weird, that means that they're spying on me. So I just sat in my room and started talking a whole bunch of shit about Indian people. And like hotel staff did act a little weird, but my colleagues in the law school, the Indian colleagues, they were pissed. Like they were cheesed, man. Like they would be like, they'd give me dirty looks. Like one day, two big Indian guys like came sit right next to me and like trying to intimidate me. Like these guys like 6 foot something and like fat motherfuckers, like And I wasn't even scared. I was like, bro, I feel so protected. I feel like I got 2 bodyguards, right? Like they're trying to intimidate me, and they would give me dirty looks. Like I knew what was going on. I was like, okay, these motherfuckers are spying on me. But then God put into my mind when I was and then I would tell the girl, I was like, yo, I think these people are spying on me. She's like, no, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. She tried to convince me otherwise. And then I got mad at her. I was like, yo, you fucking bitch. Like, you're supposed to be on my side, right? And eventually, God put in my head that she was in on it too. So I asked her, I was like, hey, I feel like you're in on this too. And she's like, oh no, swear to God, I'm not. I'm like, no, no, you are. And then I started bringing her evidence. I was like, you asked me this, and then my dad got fired, and you asked me this, and my dad's friend lost his dry cleaner, and then you asked me for my dad's name, you asked for my mother's name. When I told you the story about my dad, you making notes, and like I confronted her with all the shit, right? So she got super scared. She's like, don't ever contact me again. She blocked, deleted me for everything, and I was like, fuck. And then I called my lawyer right away, right? And I called my lawyer and I'm like, hey, like they hired a girl to sleep with me. Can you check what's happening here? And then my lawyer tells me like, maybe they're trying to just fuck you up in the exams. Like go do your exams, you'll be fine. And I wasn't talking to my lawyer like in my room because I thought my room was bugged. So I was talking to her in my vehicle. And while I was speaking with her, this dude like dressed up like a spy with his little fucking, those fucking weird little hats and like smoking a cigarette, just like looking at me. It's a fucking demon. So now I was being fucking followed around by demons. I'd go to the gym, I had demons follow me. So as soon as I called her out on it,